Some people have asked us for a gameplay video of Partitocracy to better understand how the game pans out. So, here is how the setup and the first turn of the game goes. Initially, one law of each ministry is drawn randomly, and half of them are set as progressive while the other half as conservative. Then the players invest their initial 6 influence points one at a time, building their party bases. After the influence is set, each party is assigned a resource value depending on how many groups they have under control. In this case, both Ang and Saf manage to get 5 resources, while Hel fails to get more than the initial 2. Then a campaign roll is made, and all players roll 1 dice and add their resource to the value. In this case, Digi managed to win the campaign, gaining 1 voter counter from the middle class pool. Then the voters remaining in that pool are split according to the stability track, with Digi deciding which groups gets the odd counters in case it can be evenly split. After that, players gain voters from the groups depending on their influence and using the election roll as a tiebreaker. Once all voters have been assigned, the electoral law in play is assigned, and players earn members of the parliament according to it. In this case, Digi has 4 MPs, Ang has 7, Zaf has 9, and Hel only 1. So Digi and Ang reach an agreement to form a government coalition, as they both are up to 11, with Digi taking care of 2 ministries and Ang the other 4, and the presidency of Fridonia. Once the first government has been elected, the first turn begins. Players replenish their hand. They should have as many cards as resources their party handles. Then the president rolls for headlines and gets a 4, so 1 headline card is drawn. In this case, it's an emergency shutdown of a nuclear plant that puts focus this year on the energy issues, allowing players to go on record demanding a new approach for cleaner energies if they want to. Then the economic forecast is rolled. This time, President Ang rolls a 3, but nothing significant happens. They will have a budget of 5 to pay for the loss this turn. After that, the play phase begins. Ang decides to put in play a new leader, the People's Poet. Thaf goes next and plays the Deal Maker, another leader. Digi decides to call a law. He considers that justice and interior should require a more amiable approach, so a new set of prison regulations are set in motion. The vote passes, and Digi earns 3 victory point tokens, 1 per group he has influence on, and 1 more for the ecologist bonus. Ang only gains 1 token, because he has no influence on the liberals. Then 2 voters are moved from the pool to the conservatives and 1 to the patriots. Hel is short of resources, so she decides to approach some right-wing nationalists. She does so by trying to gain influence with them. She rolls a 2, but that's enough to gain 1 point. Now it's Ang's turn again. He decides to push for an affordable housing act. But the liberals ain't happy with this proposal. As he wants the votes from Digi on this one, he pays 8 instead of 4 political capital to take the liberals out of the opposition, offering them a moratorium on certain regulations. The vote passes. Its effects apply, and Ang gains 2 victory points tokens while Digi gains only 1. Thaf hears the complaints among the conservatives and decides to join their demonstrations. Suburbs, dads and mas ain't happy with the latest laws, and a spin round begins. Ang expends 3 political capital to appease the public opinion. Both Hel and Digi pass, and Thaf decides to expend 3 more political capital to push the public opinion back to moderate. Ang passes, so the effects of the orange version of the card apply, giving 2 voters to the conservatives, and the stability goes down 1 point. Digi decides to invest his turn attempting to raise his influence with the liberals, but he fails the roll. Then Hel decides to take to the streets again, but this time with some Fridonian nationalists. Ang is really short on resources, but being it the last card from Hel, this means that the turn will be over next time it's her turn, if not earlier. so he decides to push down the public opinion. It works, and only the green effect of the card is applied, so the stability drops down to -2. Ang decides to use his last turn to try to improve his influence with the Greens, but he fails. Then Thaf plays Saturday Night Debates as event, so she draws 3 cards and discards 2. Digi decides to play offense on his left. As Ang is out of cards, he can't defend himself, so he plays Lies, Damn Lies and Polls on the Unions, and raises it to moderate with an additional card. Thaf decides to push it too, spinning the public opinion to decisive. This means that the next event that is played will start at that level. Some voters are shifted from the Unions to the Greens, and the turn is over. Now comes the last bit of the year, budget. As you can see, laws have a cost of €7, but they only have 5 according to the income of this year. So in order to balance the budget, Ang decides to remove some tax exemptions from the big business, so the blue gain 1 voter. And the remaining coin is sent on to deficit, raising the debt. This will give a negative penalty to the next economic roll, and certain headlines might take effect that otherwise wouldn't. But the budget is approved and the first year is over. This is the end of the first gameplay tutorial for Partitocracy. If you have any doubts and questions, please don't hesitate and shove them in the comment sections here, on our Kickstarter, or on our Facebook page. Thank you.